Hi, folks. I hope you're all doing fine. It's quite a time, isn't it? Really? Um, Obviously, the news has been dominated by the US election. And, wow, I wish I could say I was surprised by the signs of organized corruption on the part of the Democrats, but I'm just not. Um, it's really it's looking appalling. It's looking just dreadful. But it honestly doesn't surprise me because they've been crazy for 4 years. So it doesn't surprise me that they would go to any lengths and be utterly dishonest in their pursuance of power. That doesn't surprise me. However, what I want to see, what I would like to see myself from here over there in the UK, though I do have connections with the United States. So I do have a kind of like a personal as well as a broader sort of like interest in the United States. But what I would like to see is investigations to make sure that there has not been fraud. you know, oh boy. I mean, or if you like to look at it to find any fraud that has occurred, because there's so many apparent irregularities. But in any case, what I would like to see personally is a thorough investigation, so that whatever the outcome of the election, people know that it's what people actually voted for. Actual living legal people, people who have the right to vote and who are alive and existent, um, that they will know that it's their votes, and you know, so that people can go forward from there. Basically, you know, obviously looking at it as well, you can see the media has lied throughout the entire campaign. You can see the pollsters have been completely out again. Um, And that's hardly surprising because the mainstream media acted as the propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. You could see that. So, and what this looks like from the outside is a concerted, desperate effort by uh, by the globalists, to actually return things to the status quo, and that's what it looks like from the outside. And it would be no surprise if they were completely unscrupulous in that. I mean, we just saw what happened after Brexit and after the Brexit vote, and the way that uh, every attempt was made to somehow put blocks in the way of that referendum, that enormous democratic process, which actually worked, the biggest vote in British history. That every attempt was made to actually block that and to overturn it. And I have no doubt that if it was possible, right now there would be and probably are people somehow trying to scheme to try and overthrow it. I just got no doubts really, because that's how these things work. That's how these people work. They don't give up. I mean, now, in the case of the US election that's just happened, they've had 4 years of preparation, 4 years of hysterical, paranoid, unhinged preparation to try and claw back power, to try and claw back influence, to try and reconstruct their 360-degree narrative, and to try and enforce a kind of belief in it, because that's basically what they're about, really. They need to have a way of enforcing their opinions, their will, their issues on people, to try and engineer society in the way that they want it to be. And they are fundamentally anti-democratic. Democracy is really an inconvenience for them, but it's one which has to be maintained as a kind of fig leaf, really. I don't know. But you can see as well that the blue wave was non-existent. Surprise, surprise. That the Republicans and the Trump supporters did much, much better than they were predicted to. And then there is, and even with what appears to have been sort of like major interference, which has to be proved. Yeah, it has to be demonstrated. But the appearances are so bizarre. So we'll just have to see, really. But who honestly is surprised? Who honestly is surprised that the Democrats and leftists and globalists would go to such lengths to actually subvert democracy? It's honestly not a surprise. I don't think it can surprise anyone who's got their eyes open, to be truthful. But that's it, really. I certainly hope that. Well, we'll see what happens. All I really want to see is that we get a representation, a genuine representation of the actual votes cast, by real people, living people, people who actually had a right to vote, yeah, and that the system is respected and works as it should do. That's what I'd like to see happen. And if after all of that, Biden comes out on top, well, you just have to deal with it, really. Then you just have to deal with the fact that, in that case, that the globalists managed to control things so totally that they got that result. But that's far from being a foregone conclusion. It really is. And there's no doubt the Democrats will try and block any actual transparency. They're already kind of standing in the way of it, it seems. That's no surprise either. But anyway, I really wish all of my friends in the United States, much success and many blessings, and I hope this can work out in a good way. And I hope that the truth will out. It's a strange time. But anyway, on the positive note, the Republicans did very well, and they strengthened their position. So that is something good. And I say that's good because I look at the Democrats, I look at the left, and I think these people are just crazy. Yeah. A long time ago, I used to be a leftist, yeah, and I would run from that now, honestly. I mean, I was young, I was stupid, but honestly, it wasn't as crazy as it is now, though it was crazy enough and honestly stupid enough, and even then it was stupid enough. But you look at the left now, and you just think this just can't happen. The left is just so awful. I mean, but of course it can happen. Of course it can happen. But you really don't want it to happen. So anyway, to my friends in the United States, keep the faith, stay proud, be who you are, and I really wish you all the best. And my sincere best wishes to you. Okay, bye for now.